Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Lust is a key factor in relationships. Now, it would seem obvious about that, but apparently it isn't. One, because I still get some men, not even the women, some men who push back when I say women want sex. But yet the same men want to actually get a girlfriend and everything. It works best when if you're in a relationship and you having sex, she wants to have sex with you. And most men don't want to be with a woman who ain't having sex. And then of course you get some women out here, they in some sexless marriages. Not so much the men are forced to be, but you got some women, they marrying somebody, in that sexless marriage and everything. Which I would always tell the men, double back home one day. Yeah, there will be a my bad situation. I ain't gonna go for it. It's better when I do it in the car. So anyway, though, you know what? And see, that's something that's not talked about. See, I'm gonna tell you what. I never forget when I was on a relationship panel. It was over a decade ago. And we talked about some stuff, came to a break. And then when we came back, the host, who was a radio guy from the major radio station, he said, okay, what do y'all want to talk about? Romance or sex? Everybody said romance except for me. I was like, sex. Because one of the major things out here, we're not talking about how important it is in a relationship. I mean, I don't care. Yes, you need to have similar values. There's nothing wrong with that. You should. I advise it. In fact, everything works better when you have a similar class, similar spiritual beliefs, similar just outlook. Shoot, even the same political party. Oh, it works better. It works best. But y'all still got to bump nasty. You still got to have sex. Otherwise, what are you getting together for? Unless you're part of some spiritual path that only sees sex as for a part of procreation. But even in those situations, both sides going to want it outside of it. Indeed, there's always talk about infidelity and stuff. Let's be real. Like men, we admit we cheating. We want more sex from a particular woman. Women doing the exact same thing. In fact, what you get is a complaint from a lot of women about their sexual thing. What's happening in the bedroom. I mean, you got groups out there teaching women how to really get it on better. That's how deep it is. And it's a key factor. It's a key factor in relationships and really just having lust for your partner. See, what happens is this. You get plenty of people who can meet somebody who can meet all the other stuff, but they're basically just a friend or a roommate. And they might get together because the culture says, hey, you should still get married. I know marriage is supposedly down and stuff, but you still got different spiritual groups and, that vibe of marriage and everything. So it's still going to happen. But some people, and you still get couples, they'll get together, to satisfy the overall social contract. But then the sex is lousy. It's quite simply, they not lusting. In fact, for the men, since it's mostly men that watch this channel is for men primarily. Think about it like this, fellas. How often have you met a woman? She's cool. I mean, she is cool. Y'all can sit down, y'all can chop it up, all of that. And, she even looks like something to you. She might not be drop dead gorgeous, but she ain't a duck either. And it's like y'all can talk, y'all got the same values, everything. She don't get your joint hard. She don't get your joint hard. And it just feel like something is missing, even if you try to force a relationship anyway. And women definitely know that. There's many women with a guy, they don't really lust. I remember one married woman, she said she was walking down the aisle with somebody that wasn't her soulmate. But she was marrying him for social reasons. She was closer to, she wasn't quite upper middle class. She was kind of in between, like solid middle class and then upper class. But she was getting married because, that was what she was supposed to do. But she didn't really lust him. So of course she was cheating. And that happens a lot. That happens a lot. So it's a key factor in relationships that must be discussed. But even in these spaces, now I did a video saying, yeah, you got a few more guys discussing it. But these are the dating coaches, you know, guys just telling guys how to get laid and all of that. But when you get some people like, you give a great example. When you talk about it on a major scale, like, you know, some credentialed, like psychologists and, you know, PhDs and stuff like that, talking about relationships. They discuss everything else but the sex. They discuss everything else but the sex. And even I've seen them have a certain kind of turn up their noses at somebody who would bring it up. Yeah, they talk about all the other stuff, the social stuff, but then not the sexual stuff. Hence, and I haven't used the term in a long time, the sexual shadow world. That exists where, women primarily can get the lust they want. They can be free sexually. And then they'll go back home to their husband who, you know, they'll, you know, fake it with, you know, once a week. In fact, there's some men out there who are married, they say once a week, that's a lot for them. But they didn't have the lust. Because for any relationship to work, there must be social compatibility, emotional compatibility, and sexual compatibility. You know, the social thing is, okay, y'all got similar values, like I mentioned at the beginning. The same religion, same social class, or at least compatible social classes, compatible religions where they can live with each other. Same general desires and everything. And I emphasize the word general. I mean, you know, something's a little off, that's good, because, you know, there's always room for growth. But socially, can they get along? Emotionally, is there emotional compatibility? That's important. And in credit to the experts out there, they'll talk about the social and the emotional, and they're very important, but not enough about the sexual. Basically, a man needs to look at a woman and he wants to ravage her. A woman needs to look at a man and she wants him inside of her badly. She wants to do vile things to his body. But if that's not there and they try to force something anyway, there's problems later on. There's a whole lot of relationships out here messed up just because the couple, they're not sexually attracted to each other. Because everything else is emphasized. But you gotta have lust. Now, let me be clear on it. No relationship should be lust only. Let me be very clear on that. Never lust only. Never lust only. You gotta have the other stuff. You gotta have the other stuff. But it's still there. And there needs to be a balance between all of them, a healthy balance. Because if you have too much lust, then the relationship isn't going anyplace. But then if you got too much emotional and social compatibility, then it's like having a Lamborghini but no gas. Think about it, you got this like super fast car, or some car that shouldn't even be street legal, but no gas in it. It's like having a business but no capital to run it. You know? It's like having a smartphone but the battery doesn't work. You see where I'm going? Because lust is an energy. And I'll get into that in another video. Or maybe on Patreon at some point. And indeed, just real quick on Patreon, that's where I get more into sexual dynamics. That's where I get more into it. But the bottom line is, it's important. Lust is a key factor in a relationship. We can't get past that. And we have to accept that. Now, I know some people, they will come up with something. Oh, okay. Check out my video last week when I was talking about sex appeal starting in the spirit. You need to deal with that intelligentsia and Puritan nature. So, but anyway, you need it. All right. So that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all next week. Well, next week, sorry. I record these videos early. Yeah, y'all getting something tomorrow. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.